The sun rises over a great city. It is the year 1025 AD and this is Baghdad. We can only imagine what it must have been like when the world was young and magic filled the air. Here where the Tigris and Euphrates meet, the palace walls are adorned with 1,001 tales told by the light of the moon. But today the light of dawn breaks across an empire teetering on the edge of oblivion. Corrupt officials weave webs of deceit in the shadow of the caliphate's golden dome. Yet even as the old ways fade, new ideas stir among the people. Within the palace walls, a fire burns bright in the heart of a young woman. Her name is Princess Layla al-Zahra, and she fights for justice in a hidden world where not all is as it seems. Layla moves through the palace like a whisper, unseen and unheard. She is trained in secret, mastering the art of war while the court fools believe her to be nothing more than a pretty face. Trained by the legendary female warriors known as the Black Banners, Layla is ready to defend her family and her people from the forces that would destroy them. But her greatest battle will be against those closest to her, for the enemy lies within the heart of her own house. Her father, the Abbasid Caliph, rules the known world from this great city. He inherited an empire in decline, though N has spent his reign crushing rebellions and consolidating power. His enemies call him the Butcher of Baghdad, but his victories have kept the peace for almost 30 years. Now he prepares for one last great campaign to extend their borders beyond the Oxus River. To secure their northern frontier, he has invited the king of the neighboring state to the city for a festival of peace. Soon, nobles and princes from across the land will arrive with their daughters as prizes to be won in a game of royal chess. While the vizier schemes and plots to advance his own interests, Layla walks the ramparts alone. Her reflection weeps beside her, trapped behind the bars of her gilded cage. Her heart aches for a taste of freedom, just one day to dance under the open sky, far from these suffocating walls. She longs to join the Scholars' Circle, a secret society devoted to preserving knowledge and opposing tyranny. They hide among the bustling bazaars, sharing stories and scrolls in the hopes of better days. But Layla's duty is to the crown, and so she throws herself into planning her father's great victory parade. Each night she sneaks out of the palace and disguises herself as a man, donning a simple tunic and veil over her face. In this way, she is able to slip among the crowds and hear the people's true thoughts. As the procession route winds through the city, she has hidden listening posts where informants relay news of the public's opinion back to her. If there are any plots or conspiracies brewing, she will know of them before they hatch. She also visits a humble bookshop owned by a kind woman named Kulthum, who cares for her like a mother. Here, Layla pores over ancient texts, dreaming of a time when she might break free of her confinement. In her moments of solitude, Layla writes poetry, pouring her longing and frustration onto the page. She has fallen in love with a handsome young poet named Abu al-Qasim, whose verses echo with the pain of 1,000 lost loves. But their meetings must remain secret, for her father has arranged for her to marry a powerful lord from the north in order to secure an alliance. Though their love is pure, the thought of her future marriage pains Layla. While she respects her father, she knows he has changed since taking the throne. As a boy, her father had been kind and gentle, a lover of learning and the arts, spending his days with his library and his nights with his lute. He had planned to marry a poor girl from the market and make her the queen, but her father had been talked out of it by the viziers, who told him a commoner would bring shame to his bloodline. So the engagement was broken off and Layla's father ascended to the caliphate. Ever since, the scholars say he had become a different person, ruled by fear and paranoia. One day, Layla's brother arrives home from military training and immediately rushes to see her. For months, he has heard rumors that his sister is having a secret affair. When she denies it, he warns her that if she continues to defy their father and refuses to marry the northern prince, he will tell the caliph and ruin her happiness. With a heavy heart, Layla agrees to go through with the wedding. But on the night of the festivities, she cannot bring herself to go through with it. She flees the reception in her finest gown and veil, hoping to lose herself in the crowd and escape the city unnoticed. There, among the noisy crowds and dimly lit streets, she hears the sound of drums and runs toward the commotion. As she approaches the noise, she sees a group of men beating up Abu al-Qasim for reciting forbidden poetry that criticizes the caliph. Before she can stop them, the young poet is dead. Consumed with grief and anger, Layla strikes back at her attackers, revealing her true identity. In that moment, they bow before her and pledge their allegiance. Layla soon learns that her father plans to use the wedding as a cover to attack the neighboring kingdom. She is torn between her duty to the crown and her desire to do the right thing. As her brother rides out with the army, Layla seeks counsel from Kulthum, who encourages her to follow her heart. She reminds Layla that her father is still a good man deep down inside and urges her to save him from the evil advisors corrupting him. Layla knows she must warn the neighboring kingdom of her father's treachery, but she is only a princess. Who will listen to her warnings? Desperate for help, she turns to the scholars' circle, hoping that together they can change her father's mind. The leaders of the circle welcome her and reveal that they have been expecting her. They explain that they've been watching her secretly and believe she is destined for greatness. They tell her that her father's inner circle has been poisoning his mind against them and urges her to confront her father and tell him the truth. But Layla is afraid, for her father has become a stranger to her and she fears his reaction when she reveals her secret. Still, she knows that she must try, and so she steals a royal mount and rides out to find her father. She catches up to him as he is preparing for bed, surrounded by his guards, and bravely tells him that she has been with the scholars' circle all along. At first, the caliph is furious and draws his sword, but Layla stands her ground. She tells him that he has become a tyrant and that he is only acting this way because his advisors have poisoned his mind against them. Suddenly, a guard bursts in and kneels before the caliph. He explains that the neighboring army is approaching and that they have brought word that they are willing to parley. The caliph realizes that Layla is right and that he has been tricked. He throws his sword down and embraces her. Together, they ride out to meet the incoming army, and Layla is greeted as a hero. From that day forward, she ruled wisely and justly alongside her father, bringing peace and prosperity to Baghdad and its people. The two would go on to rule for decades, bringing the Abbasid Caliphate into a new golden age of peace and prosperity, and Layla would eventually become known as one of the greatest pharaohs of all time. Layla sits on a golden throne holding a papyrus scroll inscribed with strange symbols. The camera pans away to reveal that she is in an art museum, sitting next to a display case containing an ancient mirror. The camera then zooms out to show that the display case is actually in a college library, sitting on top of a shelf next to a book titled 1001 Nights. The scene fades to black.